Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we rewinding the clock to a night that didn't just crown a champion but redefined the limits of human endurance in tennis. We're talking about the 2012 Australian Open men's final, a gladiatorial battle between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. This wasn't just a match. It was a 5-hour and 53-minute epic that stands as the longest Grand Slam final in the history of the sport. A contest so brutal, so physically and mentally demanding, that it left both players, the umpire, and millions watching around the world in a state of utter disbelief and awe. So, grab your popcorn, get comfortable, and let's dive into the story of the match that forever changed tennis. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this final, we need to understand the context. Coming into 2012, Novak Djokovic was the undisputed king of the tennis world. His 2011 season was one of the most dominant in the history of the men's game. He won 3 out of the 4 Grand Slams, and had a staggering 70-6 win-loss record. More importantly, he had beaten Rafael Nadal in 6 consecutive finals, including at Wimbledon and the US Open. Djokovic had seemingly cracked the code to defeat the mighty Spaniard, a puzzle that had stumped even the great Roger Federer for years. He had found a way to turn Nadal's greatest strengths, his relentless defense and powerful forehand, into vulnerabilities. On the other side of the net was Rafael Nadal, a warrior wounded but far from defeated. Despite the string of losses to Djokovic, Rafa was still a formidable force. He had just come through a grueling 4-set semi-final against his other great rival, Roger Federer, and was looking hungry and determined to reclaim his dominance and halt Djokovic's seemingly unstoppable momentum. The stage was set at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne. The world number 1 versus the world number 2. It was more than a final. It was a battle for supremacy. A clash of styles, wills, and legacies. Everyone knew it was going to be a blockbuster, but no one, absolutely no one, could have predicted the historic marathon that was about to unfold. The match began, and right away, it was clear that Nadal had come with a different game plan. He wasn't just going to stand back and trade blows from the baseline. He was more aggressive, stepping into the court, taking the ball earlier, and flattening out his shots, especially his backhand. He was determined to dictate the rallies, not just react to them. This renewed strategy paid off beautifully in the first set. He broke Djokovic's serve and played with a controlled aggression that had the Serbian on the back foot. Nadal sealed the first set 7-5, sending a clear message. The past was the past, and this was a new day, a new fight. It looked like the tide might finally be turning. But if there's one thing we know about Novak Djokovic, it's his incredible resilience. He didn't panic. He absorbed the blow, recalibrated, and came out firing in the second set. The rallies started to get longer, more physically punishing. Both players were pushing each other to every corner of the court, testing the limits of their athleticism. Djokovic began to find his rhythm, his depth, and his angles. He started to turn defense into offense with his signature sliding backhands, forcing errors from Nadal. The third set was where the match transcended from a great final into something legendary. The quality of tennis was simply breathtaking. Point after point, both men produced shots that defied belief. Lung-busting rallies, incredible gets, and winners painted from impossible positions. It felt like every single game was a battle in itself. Djokovic, riding the momentum from the second set, looked to be in control. He broke Nadal's serve and seemed poised to take a 2-set Stuan lead. But Rafa, being Rafa, refused to yield. He dug in, fought back, and saved breakpoints with sheer grit and determination. The set eventually went to a tie-break, a fitting way to decide such a closely contested frame. Djokovic played a near-perfect tie-break, raising his level when it mattered most, and clinched it 7-5. He let out a primal roar. He was now 2 sets to 1 up, and it felt like a decisive blow had been struck. As the match crossed the 4-hour mark and headed into the 4th set, the physical toll was becoming evident. The players were drenched in sweat, their movements slightly less explosive, but their will remained unbroken. Lesser players would have crumbled, but these were 2 of the greatest competitors the sport has ever seen. It was Nadal's turn to show his champion's heart. Down a break and on the brink of defeat, he produced some of his most clutch tennis. A sudden rain delay at 4-4 gave both players a brief but much-needed respite. When they returned, the intensity was right back where it left off. The set went to another tiebreak. This time, it was Nadal, who played with courage and conviction, taking it 7-5 to force a deciding fifth set. The crowd in Rod Laver Arena was on its feet, roaring in disbelief. After more than 4.5 hours, they were back to square one. The fifth set was the ultimate test of survival. BT's point: it wasn't just about tennis, it was about who could stay standing. The rallies were still brutally long, a testament to their incredible conditioning. At 4-2 in the fifth, Djokovic missed a routine backhand pass on breakpoint that would have given him a 5-2 lead and a chance to serve for the championship. It was a moment of sheer exhaustion. Nadal seized the opportunity, held his serve, and then broke Djokovic back to get 2-4. The momentum had swung yet again. It felt like Nadal, the marathon man, would find a way to win. He pushed ahead to 5-4, then 6-5. But Djokovic refused to break. Held serve, and at 5-5, he played one of the most incredible points of the match. A 31-shot rally that ended with him collapsing to the ground in exhaustion after winning it. That point seemed to give him a final surge of adrenaline. He broke Nadal in the very next game. Serving for the championship at 6-5, Djokovic would not be denied again. He held his nerve, and on match point, he fired a forehand winner. The clock read 1:37 a.m. 5 hours and 53 minutes after it all began, it was over. Djokovic fell to the ground, ripping his shirt apart in a cathartic celebration of victory and relief. Nadal, ever the gracious competitor, stood by the net, waiting to congratulate his rival. It was a moment of incredible sportsmanship that defined their rivalry. During the trophy ceremony, both players were so exhausted they could barely stand. Chairs were brought out for them, an unprecedented scene in a Grand Slam final, perfectly symbolizing the superhuman effort they had just displayed. This match wasn't just about who won or lost. It was a showcase of everything that makes tennis great: skill, athleticism, mental fortitude, and respect. Djokovic cemented his status as the best player in the world, proving he could outlast even the game's greatest warrior. Nadal, even in defeat, earned immense admiration for his relentless fight and his refusal to give up. The 2012 Australian Open final set a new benchmark for physicality in tennis and left an indelible mark on the sport's history. It's a match that fans still talk about with a sense of wonder. A night when two titans pushed each other beyond their limits and gave us the greatest tennis match ever played. What are your memories of this incredible final? Do you think it's the best match of all time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's always great to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at tennis history, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.